في جنات النعيم.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, brothers and sisters in Islam. I'm here with Brother Sean King and what was your name, brother?
Brother Jamal.
Brother Imam Jamal. And we'll be asking 3 questions today from them. My first question is for Brother Sean King. I'm going to hand this mic to you and I'm going to ask you, how did you become a Muslim and what motivated you to become Muslim?
So I love answering this question, and there's like a long version of it, and I would be here all night.
Yeah.
Because the truth is, it wasn't like 1 or 2 short moments, but it was dozens of little moments over the course of my life that led me to this. I have to go all the way back first to 1992. What year were you born in?
I was 2005 born.
Okay. So this is 13 years before you were born. A movie about Malcolm X came out called X, and I lived in a small town in Kentucky. There were no masjids, no mosque in this town. Okay, it was Versailles, Kentucky. I don't even know. I've gone back to think about it. I don't think there was a single Muslim in my high school, and the only Muslim I knew at that time was Malcolm X, and he had been killed almost 30 years prior. But this movie, me and all of my friends became obsessed with him from the movie. 3 years later, a friend of mine gave me the book, The Autobiography of Malcolm X, and we were so crazy about this man that we just wanted to be like him. And I will give us some credit. We were smart enough to think that to be like him, one way we could do that was to be Muslims. But you have to think, this is 1995, 1996. There's no Google. There are no iPhones. We didn't even have, in our house, we didn't even have the internet. Like we had in our house, you probably don't have these at home, we had encyclopedias.
Oh yeah, encyclopedia.
And so you could look up in the encyclopedia, you could look up Islam, but that's not going to tell me how to become a Muslim. And so we didn't know how to become Muslims. We eventually found the phone number of a masjid in Lexington, like 30 minutes away, called Masjid Bilal. And it was in the church section of the phone book. We looked in the phone book for weeks. We didn't even know we were so dumb. We knew Malcolm X's name was not going to be in the phone book. We even looked up Malcolm X. We didn't know what to look up. And we found Masjid Bilal. They had the masjids and the synagogues were in the church section of the phone book. And we called this this masjid, and a brother answered. He's still alive.
MashaAllah.
He answered, and he said the smartest thing ever. He told us, I'm 16 years old at the time. He told us, he said, young brothers, if you come up here on Friday for prayer, we didn't know anything about Jummah. We didn't know, none of this made sense to us. He said, I'll write you an excuse and you won't have to go to school. He might as well have offered me $1 million, man. I hated school.
Exactly.
School was painful for me.
Agreed.
And this man said it, and I asked him, I said, do you mean the whole day? And he was like, yes, just come on up here and I'll write you an excuse and you won't have. So for 3 straight Fridays, we went up there. This was just a house. That house is now like the outreach center for the masjid. Now it's a full building and a full community. He's like the retired imam of that masjid now. And so all the way back, that's almost 30 years ago, I wanted to be a Muslim. And so many things in my life, like throughout my whole life, I didn't smoke, I didn't drink, I didn't get tattoos. I've only been with one woman my entire life since I was a teenager. I've always fought for justice and stood up for the oppressed. And what I didn't know was that all of my Muslim friends saw this as like Islamic behavior. And so Muslims, up until the day I embraced Islam, Muslims always were some of my closest allies, supporters, friends. And so when I eventually accepted Islam, most of my family just felt like, what took you so long? And I have some real regret. And I told my teachers, that I didn't raise my kids as Muslims. I went to Christian seminary. I was a pastor for 15 years. I have an old man's brain, and I can hardly understand Arabic. I could have learned these things in my teens and 20s. But Sheikh Omar, one of the things he said to me was, Sean, it's the timing of Allah. Part of me wishes it could have happened 29 years ago. Who knows what would have happened in those 29 years, good or bad. Like, maybe I would have fallen off. Now, I told the audience that 10 family members have embraced Islam. Who knows, maybe I would have been such a horrible Muslim that no one maybe my whole family would have hated Islam if I had become a Muslim back then. Who knows? So there's so many other beautiful points that I could make, but it started a long time ago, and I it's Malcolm X and that local imam who just took my phone call. I think that number was his home phone number. This is 1996. Yeah, and because when he answered, I think in my memory he just said hello, and I remember thinking when I first called, I've called the wrong number, and so I don't know, had I not had that moment, had I not read the book or seen the movie, who knows, man. So so many factors played a real role for sure.
That was a wonderful story.
Yeah,
thank you so much. This one's for Imam. Imam, there's a lot of new Muslims who are turning out to be Muslim. How long ago did you become Muslim? Was it
a little less than 2 years ago?
All right, a little less than 2 years ago.
Yeah,
okay.
Yes.
So what advice would you give to people who recently became Muslim, like let's say 3 days ago, 4 days ago, 5 days ago? What good advice could you give to them so they can understand the Deen a little better than now? I mean, they're pretty much confused. What do I do next?
بسم الله والحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله اللهم صل وسلم وبارك على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم تسليما كثيرا كثيرا. I think the one thing about a revert, as we like to affectionately call them, right? Colloquially, a convert is also appropriate, right? But the perspective that they have is not a perspective that so-called born Muslims have. First of all, technically speaking, according to our doctrine, everyone is born a Muslim.
That's right.
Let's get that clear.
To understand,
Every baby, upon their natural instincts, their natural state of being prior to any sort of societal influence, is a Muslim, is a believer. Would say, okay, go and connect with a brother or a sister, watch some videos, read some books, right? Learn how to pray, first of all. This is the main thing, right? Prayer is the first thing a person is asked about. But more importantly, as a Muslim who's not a revert, right? So to speak, what can you learn from that person who embraced Islam? Because their perspective, they saw value in something that you've had for a lot longer. And they chose to throw away whatever they had before and say, I want this instead. Knowing that it comes with a lot of strings that are going to be cut. Knowing it comes with a lot of risk to their personal lives. In some cases, it fractures families.
Thank you, brother. No, I'm proud of you, man. Keep doing it, okay?